Hi there, the Kaizen Sensei here, coming to introduce something pretty important in the construction industry. It's called the Last Planner System, which is a project management system that is used that borrows unique techniques from the pull system from Toyota or lean manufacturing, again in the construction industry. And what it does primarily, instead of providing the huge burden of dealing with that project binder under one person, it uses the collective efforts of every single one of the subcontractors that gets involved with the management and the production of getting a house or building built. Okay, so you follow me. Now, normally you have a superintendent or a general contractor that says, okay, I need to hire you, and I need you to be on this date, and this date, and I want you to hit all of those marks so that at this final end date, you will have a finished product. Basic, simple project management system. However, with the Last Planner system, by the way, that was designed by Glenn Ballard and Greg Howell in 1980, what they do is that they use something called they use project management boards in this big, gigantic project management building. I think you've seen some of them where they have all these boards out there and they have a lot of post-its on it. Well, I'm going to break it down for you. You're going to have these boards that are set and specifically designed so that it starts at the end first instead of the beginning. Now let me show you how it works. On here, okay, the first board that you're going to have, it's going to be a board, and it's going to be your master schedule. It will have the drawings, the takeoffs, and all of the specifications you need to build your building. So that's your master schedule. The second board is going to be what they call phase planning. As you know, projects are done in phases. They're not done in, okay, you go ahead and shake the box and you got a finished product. They come in certain sequences that's driven by the inspection date. So you have phase one, which is probably the ground development. Phase two, which is lining everything underneath, and then you start the foundation and end up with the landscaping, and then you sign off. So you got all those different phases. So that's phase planning. Then the next one is what they have a board that has 3 and 6 week look ahead, which actually is just basically 6 lines where you can actually look at the progress, or actually the planned events for 6 weeks. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and they have these stickers on them. Okay, plumber's gonna do this, the electrician's gonna do that, the drywall people, and it goes all the way down. Now that's not very specific, it just says this is what we think we're going to do. And then you have another board that's a weekly detailed report. Monday, they're gonna have actually specific goals by each one of the subcontractors assigned to that day. So that's the weekly detailed report. Now, then they have these ancillary boards, which are very important. Then you have what they call a constraint board, a board that lists for that particular day any bottlenecks that will prevent them from getting their job done. Not enough employees. I don't have a backhoe. I don't have my supplies. Oh my goodness. I know I used to have things where I'd have everybody lined up, and then the supply guy wouldn't get me my valves. So I couldn't do the job. So I lost that day. You lose that day, that means it's got to be pushed, and it really wreaks havoc to your planning. So that constraint board needs to be taken care of immediately, and to support that board, we have something called a parking lot board, which gets into the real detailed nitty-gritty about why things aren't working out. Now, the key to all of this is that you have to start from the end. Instead of starting from the beginning, you start from the end. You've got a beautiful built house or building. What is the last step that's needed before they sign off on that contract? So all the mechanic liens are all pulled out. Yeah, you remember those. All those punch lists. So you got to find out what is the last thing. What is a very, very nice? Usually it's a landscape architect putting a pine tree up, whatever, or stringing out the irrigation pipes. Then on the beginning part, what is the first thing you do? You review the documents and then you do the job walk. Job walk, sign off. Job walk, sign off. So you start at the end. You follow me? And then from that end, then you go to the phase planning board. Phase 1, phase 2, phase 3, phase 4. Then you go on phase 4, what are you guys going to do? That means all of you guys, all of the subcontractors are going to say, hey, I'm going to do that, I'm going to do that, I'm going to do that, are you sure you're going to do that? And that's where you kind of get, you get into the big, gigantic, stinking egos between all of the subcontractors. You know what I'm talking about. Come on now. And so, but you get them on the board, you buy burritos, a lot of coffee, donuts, so that they can really hash it out. The first couple of meetings are going to be long because they really, really got to hash it out what they think they can do at the period. Because remember that final product usually comes with a date, the declared end date. Now in Lean, one of the biggest things is to deliver what the customer wants, needs, desired, on time, hassle and defects free, because that defines value. Value is what they're willing to pay for, providing they get what they want. The worst thing is that they go in there and he goes, that's not the blind side, that's not the tile I put in. That means you got to rip it up, and that costs money. That costs money, which comes to the aspect of Lean. Lean, what it does is it eliminates waste. If you eliminate waste, and there's a story, capacity equals work plus waste. Okay? So if work requires this amount of time and waste requires this amount of time to equal capacity, if you eliminate waste, you've increased your capacity. That means you'll be able to get your job done without any hassle. That stinking, I tell you, the biggest problems that you get is that constraint, or what they call bottleneck board. I don't have enough employees. Someone stole my tools, or someone took away my backhoe or my trencher when they needed it at that day. You guys know what I'm talking about. And that causes you to miss that day. And if you miss that day, then you push it. You can't do that. That's why you guys got to work together in the last planner system. Okay? I know what I'm talking about, because it's easy to talk about. And it really is hard to plan, because you got to deal with so many people, so many variables, but it can be done, has been done. If you don't believe me, Google The Last Planner System by Glenn Ballard and Greg Howell, and you'll see all these pictures of these boards with stickers on it, and some are made into diamonds and some made into circles, whatever floats your boat. But most important is that you communicate appropriately and properly, so that at the end you get a beautiful building and a home on the date it was declared. You got it? I ramble. I know I'm stupid, but that's all right, because what it does is that it doesn't matter how smart you are. What matters is that you have a beautiful product, you get people that will work together, and that you eliminate waste. Eliminate it, all right? Hey, listen, I really thank you for listening to me. I know sometimes you might say, wow, this bald-headed Filipino with glasses on doesn't know what he's talking about, but let's get to work. Let's use the last planner system to pull the product, to come with a beautiful product. And guess what? You're gonna make some money, all right? You wanna make some money? Do this. Listen, thanks for listening. Peace, peace.